Well, good evening, folks, and welcome to the Big Body Music Podcast. Tonight, we are going to talk about all things production and lighting tech. So if you have any questions about live sound or lighting, hit us up, and we'll be glad to answer it. But first, we're going to try some lighting techniques out. So, you see I got my 4Zs. Those are ADJ Focus Spot 4Zs over there on the stage. And I am going to turn them on and kind of go through some stuff so y'all can see what they look like when they are in DMX. We're going to go through the basics of DMX. So I'll start with what DMX stands for. DMX stands for Digital Multiplex, and it's the protocol that lights use to control them. And there are 512 channels in that DMX universe. So you have a range of channels, you got a range of fixtures. All stage lighting fixtures will respond to DMX. So we're going to go through the 4Zs. I'm going to try to tilt them down and do some colors and some gobos. Now these have a gobo wheel, a color wheel, and split color. You can do split colors. There's some of the gobos. And they have prisms, they have everything. And the way you achieve all that is through DMX. So right now I've got my DMX bridge. It's by ADJ. It's an iPad only or iOS only device. You can use your phone, you can use your iPad. But it's a really great mobile lighting system for DJs. It's fantastic. So I'm just gonna tilt these down a little bit, and we'll see if we can get those prisms going as well. So these 4Zs have two prisms. They have a 5-facet linear prism and a 6-facet circular prism and a 5-facet linear prism. So you can do all sorts of lighting design with these fixtures. I use them at my church. I use them for DJing, and they're great lights. And we're going to talk about stage lighting design and what that means. And I believe what stage lighting design really helps is having consistency in fixtures, consistency in your gobos. You know, picking out different gobos that are going to make different designs on stage. And there's over 1,000 lighting brands. There's tons of lighting brands that you can choose fixtures from. And some of those brands I love, like ADJ. ADJ's got a whole family company. They own Elation, they own Eliminator, and that Elation makes a lot of great professional fixtures. And there's also Martin fixtures, Clay Packy, Avo lights. Rockville's got some stuff out. There's a whole ton of lighting companies that you can go on their website. They have demos of all their lights, and they have gobos. You can do lighting design with these gobos. It's going to be perfect on stage, whether you're a concert or a concert goer or a production or DJ. Lights are going to be your main look.
So with these spotlights, you're saying that they have a built-in gobo, correct?
Yeah. So
they'll take the place of having to have a separate gobo, correct?
Right. So on these ADJ Focus Spot 4Zs, they have interchangeable gobos. Mm-hmm. You can you can go through Roscoe or you can go through NLFX Professional, and they will design and customize a gobo to go into your light.
Oh, wow.
And whatever design. So if you're doing a wedding, you can use the 4Zs to shine a gobo that has the name of the bride and groom on them.
Oh, yeah.
And then, their wedding date.
Yeah.
And then, or if you're doing lighting design, if you want snowflakes on stage, I've done that before. I put snowflakes in these lights.
Oh, wow.
And I've done snowflakes on my church's stage. So these are great versatile fixtures. You can do a lot with them.
So they're not just a spotlight.
Right. So they're not just a spotlight. They have metal gobos that are rotatable. They're interchangeable, and it's bright. It's a 200. They have a 200. It's a 200-watt LED engine in them, so they're very bright. They have pan tilt. They have prisms. You got motorized focus, motorized zoom. So they're just a great overall versatile fixture. Now ADJ has several of these in the lineup. They have the Focus Spot 1, the Focus Spot 2, the Focus Spot 3Zs, the Focus Spot 4Zs, the Focus Spot 6Zs, and they've just released the Focus Spot 7Zs.
Now what's the price point on these?
So the price point, the higher the, like say Focus Spot 7 is going to cost you a little bit more than the Focus Spot 4Zs.
Is that just because of different types
because of the different, because of the size of the fixture,
okay,
and the gobos and all the features that are in them.
Gotcha.
So,
one sec. We're gonna talk for a second. We're gonna come back.
So
Pretty good. Okay.
So that controller is specifically set for iOS devices only.
Yeah. Okay.
You can't use an Android anything on it. So
well, like my DJ Go, that thing only works on an iPad. Like it won't work on a phone. Which
you can control. You can control lights through your phone, through your iPad.
If you turn that off, does it keep? Does it stay wherever you left it the last
Right.
game?
Yeah. So
the Go doesn't. The Go you have to leave the software on.
Yeah.
So if I
cut everything off.
If I turn shutter and dimmer off, then I don't mess with the pan and tilt. They're going to stay like that.
Yeah, and that's typically what I would expect any controller to do.
Yeah.
The Go tends to want to kind of handshake with that receiver all the time.
Yeah. So there's pan.
That it's $300. I mean, it's not the
I'd
best
love it
thing.
for some things. Yeah.
It depends. I hate it. Sometimes it has a little hiccup and it'll turn off, and I'm like, oh, great.
What I will do is sometimes I will make my wash on the stage fixed and not put it on the Go.
Okay.
And that way, if I do cycle off for some reason, like that unit is just if you expect it not to, it's going to. It's going to cycle through.
It's going to cycle
makes
through.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah, with that, and I think if you were to put it on your Wi-Fi network and not be the built-in Wi-Fi, you're probably going to get more stability.
So
it was never that. I'm not doing theater shows with it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So if it shuts off or
this device is basically for mobile DJs.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So the bridge creates its own Wi-Fi network, and that's what connects you to the iPad.
Yeah, it's the same thing that the mic.
And it has effects engines. It's got, you can basically control any LED light with it.
Yeah.
So it's a very diverse controller. But now when you get into the production side, you got the Grand MA3s, you got the Hogs, you got all these different controllers that do lots and lots of things. You got so many buttons that you can push, and you can build cue stacks. So whenever you have like a 128 BPM, you can hit that beat button and match to the beat of the music, and you can create like different scenes.
Like the DJ Go Pro, it has a link, and it'll link straight to Serato and all that. Whatever.
That's kind of like what SoundSwitch does.
Yeah.
So SoundSwitch is another lighting controller that runs with Virtual DJ, Serato, and it'll basically sync up a light show using DMX.
Yeah, but it does it on its own.
But it does it on its own.
Yeah,
But it took me. I tried SoundSwitch, and it took me like 4 hours to create one light show for one song. And I said, "Forget this mess."
But you had tremendous control. It took a lot of time.
Yeah,
a guy like me, I know very basic when it comes to lighting. I can chain them together, and I channel 2 through 5 or 15 or however it goes. I've forgotten, so I don't mess with it that much.
Well, lighting is.
How'd you get into lighting and all that?
Oh gosh, I've been studying lighting ever since I was 3 years old. I started going to concerts, and I started noticing what the light show is going to look like, and I started studying on this stuff, and I just fell in love with it.
That's cool.
And I've done lighting ever since. So I do lighting and sound in my church. So I go to Mayfair Church of Christ, and I'm on worship staff there, and I do the lighting. We had so the story on how I got to do it at church, it was after the tornadoes came through, on April 27th, and we went down to the church to help cook food and to send out stuff for people that were in need. And I walk into the gym and I noticed the movers on top of the roof in our gym, and I emailed my worship pastor and I said, I know exactly what these are. I know exactly what they do, and boom, I had a job just like that.
Oh wow!
So I've been running sound and lighting at my church since 2011.
Oh wow!
So, but once I got started DJing, then I got into the more movers, the more pars, and then I had to figure out how am I going to DMX all this.
Yeah.
So I understood DMX way before I even got any movers. Wow. So
I still don't understand DMX.
Yeah, DMX is.
I'm more of a sound guy.
Yeah. You know? See it. If you go sound active, it's okay.
Yeah.
But to get that lighting design, you want to go to DMX. So, because you're going to have more features on DMX than you will sound active.
And when you say set a scene and all that, like what is that?
Yeah, you can set scenes. You can
like scene for like a specific song.
Yeah, you can set a scene for a specific song, or if the song is like 120 BPMs, you can go wild with it.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's DMX is basically control. So, now those 4Zs have DMX in and DMX out. So you can hook up as many fixtures as you want to.
Just daisy chain them all.
Just daisy chain them all together, and that's how you run a light show.
Now, what's the difference between a DMX cable and an XLR? Because I mean, you just pick them up; they kind of look the same.
They look the same. And it's hard to explain what it is because they're basically the same, but there's a little bit of a difference. The prongs in a DMX cable are going to actually say DMX.
Okay.
So, yeah, but you can use XLR cables if you don't want to spend the money on DMX cables.
Do you lose any latency with using?
You don't lose much latency at all. So.
Just another way for them to get money out of us.
So I'm an ADJ fan. I love American DJ and I love all their products. So I use their brand IQ Cable. It's one of the best brands out there.
Well, then American DJ is one of the most recognizable brands out there.
American DJ is one of the most recognizable lighting brands in the USA and in the world. So
I mean that's what I started with. I started with just a couple little uplights. And, a jank little toy mixer and a jank little toy speaker. I think it was like a 10-inch speaker, DJing in my room. And, I got started DJing from a buddy of mine who was a lieutenant in the Navy. He was an old, scratch guy.
Oh, yeah.
He was like, hey, man, some guys shoot, some guys do this, some guys do that to deal with coming back from, overseas and everything. And that's what he got me into, That's how I kind of got my start. Then I came back out of the Navy, rolled around with Brandon Mack, Doc Rock, and some other guys, and it just kind of naturally progressed from there.
And that's great that you learned somebody. It all came natural to me. So
yeah,
because I grew up in the music world. My dad plays music. My brother plays music, and then once I started doing the tech stuff at church, that's what really got me into it. Because I was pushing all the buttons on the mixers and the light boards, and I just got into it there.
So you were used to having a controller, a board.
Yeah, I was used to having something in front of me. So.
And then you said you did, you were doing lights and sound, correct?
Mostly sound.
Mostly sound.
I always joke I'm the sound guy that had to bring lights.
Yeah.
So I'm supposed to be bringing sound. They're like at the last minute, they're like, "Oh, do you have lights?" And I was like, I guess so." So the trees and some uplighting and backlighting.
How'd you get into it?
Lighting wise?
What were they, just sound lighting?
Sound wise, mission trips at church.
Really?
And middle school and all,
wow.
we would go and help with that. We had little, backyard Bible club style little systems.
Oh wow!
To learn how to do that. I guess that would have been middle school or so. So then through high school, I came from the music side of it. So keyboards, bass, instruments, and all kind of got me in from the music side, and so kind of understanding how that worked, and so that's how I got my start.
I guess I'm the only club guy right there. I was a little club rat, following Brandon Mack around, wrapping up cables, doing this, doing that, and he taught me a lot, how to do and what not to do in some cases.
With my Christian roots, I stayed out of the clubs.
Yeah.
So, but weddings are fun. Weddings can be pressure. There can be a lot of pressure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I mean that's someone's entire day. Hopefully they're gonna remember that day for the next 50, 60 years.
Oh yeah.
If you jack something up on it, they're gonna remember.
They're gonna remember it. So you pretty much ruined your day as a DJ. So
and then that's that's the difference between me and you. I bring like a clubby vibe to it. You bring the more the prim proper.
Yeah. I've been told I'm a luxury DJ. So so that came from a buddy out of Florence that called me that. But
nice. And our systems are vastly different, and you have way more lights, and that's what we get into as far as the lighting.
I can put a true light show on you.
So. Oh yeah. Me, it's kind of gonna be a couple moving heads and a couple of this, that, and the other. Very basic. It's still gonna look good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. But once you get into professional lighting, you're gonna hear like brands like Clay Packy, Martin. Bandit Lights is a great company to get concert lights rented out. Four-Wall Entertainment, they're both based out of Nashville.
Okay.
And they're great. I know a lot of country artists that are using Bandit Lights right now, and they've done installs at Dollywood all over the place.
Would you stay away from internet and just buying a light on the internet? Would you actually go and put your hands on? You want those guys? How's that go?
I'm a hands-on guy. I like to see it before I buy it.
Yeah.
But since I already had the 4Cs, I just got on the internet and just started.
So you just got the next iteration.
I just got the next set off the internet. So, but Amazon has all the descriptions of the lights and what they do and stuff. But to actually go physically see it, it's going to give you a lot more perspective on that fixture.
And that's kind of my point of view too. Amazon's kind of taken over a lot of that, and some of the DJ stores and everything. But you can still go to a Guitar Center and you can still they got fixtures hanging. They got DJ stuff.
Oh yeah,
you can test out a speaker here and there.
They've been out of stock lately, so I haven't been going in there. But
that's a whole other podcast while they're going out of stock.
Exactly.
Stuff we may or may not get into.
NLFX Professional is based up in Minnesota, and they're a complete DJ store and production store. So is Sweetwater. And I know a lot of guys who use Sweetwater and places like that. So
I've used Sweetwater. I've used DJ Pro, a couple other different.
IDJ Now is another great company to go through. I like Sweetwater because they give you the candy.
Oh yeah.
So but that's just basics of lighting, guys. Just gobos, colors.
So when you're daisy chaining, a set of lights together, where do you start at 1? Do you start at 0?
I start at 1.
Okay.
And then do
you have to start at 1?
You don't have to start at 1.
Okay.
But if you're going into the lighting boards, we're going to get into the lighting boards in a second.
Mm.
But once you get into the lighting boards, they're going to give you what DMX needs to be addressed on your fixture for that board.
Okay. So you can't just go 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right. You got to go through the board's address system. Okay. So, like, I have the ADJ DMX FX 512, and it gives you the list of DMX addresses that your fixtures have to be addressed at in order for them to work on that board. So,
gotcha. Like the app I got, that My DJ Go, it just kind of
Yeah.
what light it is, and it tells me, what position. I can tell it what position it is, and it'll tell me what channel it's supposed to be on.
Right.
So a board's going to have so many channels. It's either have like 256.
You're going to have 256.
Or 512.
Or
that's physically 256 channels.
Individual sliders?
Individual channels.
Individual sliders and faders.
0 to 100. Yeah. Different numbers, but basically think about it that as off and on. Traditionally, we would have one tar light on each channel.
Mm-hmm.
But now that we have these intelligent lights, each light has so many channels that it takes just to run that one light.
Oh yeah, so it could be one. It could be
so it could 12, be for a simple. If it's a simple par that's got 4 colors, it may have 4 channels that activate those colors, or it might have one channel that's strobe.
You're talking about just a simple RBG,
RBG,
wash light.
And
not counting the RBGW or RBGA.
Every light's different. And some of them are 4 channels, 7 channel.
Yeah.
some of these movers can be 27 channels.
Yeah.
Like that. And so it just kind of depends on what are you kind of control. This light here is can be set up as several different things. It can be set up as a 7. Well, I'm just guessing. A 7 channel, a 14 channel, and a 28 channel. So, it just kind of depends on how many channels you want to take up. The more channels you give it, the more control you have over specific things. So.
And on these 4Zs, they don't say what channel. It just says basic, standard, or
gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, or extend.
Idea.
So I think basic will be like, I think basic is like 18, then standard is 24, and then extend is probably 30 channels.
Like that. And so I've seen each fixture be different, and so we can decide, like if this one is 14 channels, we could decide that we want them all doing the same thing. So we could put them all on the same starter channel.
Correct.
Channel 1. And so now when I do channel 1 through 28, I'm moving all of the lights.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because they're all on the same channel.
Because they're all daisy chained.
Yeah.
And then if you want to, then you can set different DMX addresses on them.
Okay.
So theoretically, if it's 18 channels, my first fixture could be 1 through 18. Then my next fixture could be 19 through, and I could literally line them up on the DMX channels. But like you're saying, a lot of these controllers are really set up, and they have banks of numbers, and so it's not going to let me just have the first 18 and then start with 19 through.
Right.
And so what he's describing is sometimes it's a 16 channel fixture setup. So no matter how many channels my light has, if it's a 4 channel, it's still going to take up one of those banks or sections, fixture section. And so that's what he was talking about. So I might have to decide how many channels I want to use that, because I need to be under 16.
Gotcha.
Otherwise I'm taking up 2 different slots with that. And
and each fader is going to do something different. So
it's not unusual to have like a controller like you showed me a second ago that's got 16 fixtures. So it literally thinks about 16 fixtures. So now I'm like, okay, I'm going to put my washes on a fixture. But if I run out of fixtures, I might put half of my washes on one, and the other odds and then evens on another one.
So different banks.
So I kind of work with however many channels I have with that.
Yeah.
And the same way with the movers, it may be that I can put, if my movers are on the back bar, I might be able to put all 4 of them on the same DMX channel, but I might tell the fixture to mirror the whatever I'm sending to it.
Gotcha.
So I'm literally sending all 4 of those the same DMX stuff, but these 2 over here are mirrored, so they're going to face in. That makes sense.
Okay.
So they're not all sweeping. I may want them to come in and do some stuff as a band.
Because you don't want the one that's left to say, you want that to go left, but you don't want the one right of stage to go left.
You want them to act the same.
So I'm either going to have to mirror them or send different DMX fixture there. But I can also have them on each fixture. But on my controller, I can select all 4 fixtures, and then whatever I'm doing is sending all 4. So I'd like the best of both worlds.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I have them together if I want to, but if at the last minute I want to do a solo to the piano from one side, I've got that fixture by itself, and so I love it because you can be real creative with it.
Oh, you can be super creative with it.
Solving, trying to figure out what you're trying to do with it.
It's almost like artistry too, because you can use different colors. You use the gobos.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, I watch the Grand Ole Opry on Saturday nights, and I'm watching them shoot gobos down on the stage, and doing different designs on the actual stage itself.
Yeah.
So
how would they line channels up for that?
Oh gosh.
I mean, have you thought about?
I haven't thought about that, but they have an extensive lighting system.
Yeah, a lot of times what I've seen is so we have a front bar, or maybe 2 front bars outside of the stage, and then we have one above the stage, and then one back bar like that.
And they could
those will each be on a universe,
right?
Which you can have multiple universes of. A lot of times at that point you're 512.
Okay.
So now what I have 512 channels on every bar.
Yeah.
And I just tell the controller what I'm doing.
And each bar.
And that's when the bigger consoles are just going to help you manage that a little bit easier.
Well, and
you don't want to be thinking about that.
That's what Drew
fixtures
has.
Like
Drew has this massive, touchscreen panel, and
I think Drew has the Obsidian NX Wing or something.
I think he does.
Well, can you imagine setting a concert up and you've got all your scenes on the large board.
Yeah.
And you've got everything moving to where you want it to move during the show. You just layers and layers of scenes.
And he just sits there. He makes it look easy.
He does make it look easy.
You set up the next venue. I'm not going to reprogram that whole show because everything's in a little bit different spot.
Correct.
Right.
But the front bar, and so what I can do is I can give it position points. So there may be like 16 position points on the stage that all of those scenes are working off of, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so even though all my scenes are doing stuff, they are, I guess, associating themselves with point A and point B and point C and that kind of thing. And so now I can just immediately move. All I'm doing when I get to the venue is showing it where those 16 spots are. And now my whole entire show is calibrated for that room.
So at that point, you have to think of it like in a 3D space, correct?
I think so.
Yeah, and there's
water bottles on mic stands, right?
Yeah,
you light up the water bottles.
Light the water bottles.
Light the water.
There are
when you're trying to figure out where those are pointing, you don't want people to have to stand out there. So a lot of times, what I'll do is I'll put a water bottle on a mic stand about the height of the head.
Really?
And now you can see the water bottle light up when you've got it in place.
Or you get
the knees where the guitar is.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll have a second item lower on that stand, and then I can see both of them light up. Or a piece of paper.
Huh.
You know, and that way you can get that stuff lined up.
And then you'll have somebody like me who'll actually stand on stage and you can point the lights on me.
Or with the iPad, like you said.
Or with the
that's
iPad.
Where the remote really helps out a lot. So you don't have to be at the console to do it.
But there's, like, say, if you're trying to light up a piano player on stage or a pedal steel guitar player or a drummer, then you would have to have those spots pointing on them.
Yeah.
And
figuring out.
And figure out what position they're playing in. So, yeah. So, but lighting controllers are very, very cool. There's big ones. There's little ones. You got the Obsidian consoles, which are very, very diverse. All the controllers are going to be diverse. You have the Grand MAs, which are big, expensive consoles. I mean, there's just a whole slew of lighting consoles that you can buy.
So how do you get into it? Like, what would you say, if someone's like, hey, man, I just want to throw, a couple lights up on a tree, like, what would you say?
I would say I wouldn't go with the Grand MA 3s because they're going to be expensive. I would just go with the bridge.
Okay.
Because if you're just lighting up like a DJ set or something, just go with the bridge or sound switch. So
sound switch or like even the My DJ Go.
Or
something like that.
Yeah.
So you'd go more laptop than
I would go more laptop than
hardware
console than hardware console.
So if there's a DJ out there that's trying to add lights to a show, what is the simplest thing he can add to get a nice punch with a show? What would you do? And how much money does he need to spend to get going on that?
If you want to spend less money and you're just doing colors and you're not throwing gobos on the walls or
what can I do so that it's cool enough I can charge more?
Yeah.
What's that first level?
Yeah.
And I think that might be interesting for people to know.
I would go with I love my eliminator stealth spots.
And they're spots.
They're spots, but they're 60-watt LED spots, so they're bright enough for a small venue. And
where do I put those, on a table or on a stand? Or?
I have totems. I bought some.
Gotcha.
I bought some Rockville collapsible totems.
Gotcha.
And I put them on there, and you want them out of people's eyes.
Yeah, so you shine them on the ceiling.
So I would either shine them on the ceiling or directly on the floor.
So they're changing colors, but they're staying still.
Right. It's more of a static scene. So a static scene is not going to be a moving scene.
So I'm going to see more of that light if I can focus it on somewhere that I can light up.
Right.
And if I change colors, I can get a lot out. Like if there's a white ceiling, I'm going to get a whole lot out of that light.
Yeah.
And I'm not shining in people's eyes.
And like what he did is way different than what I did.
Yeah. So there's a venue in Skyline, Alabama. It's called the Glass House. It's an all-white venue. It's
all glass.
It's all glass.
So you
it's
see
all
like
white.
one light.
Don't throw a rock at it.
Yeah. Don't throw a rock at it. But it's such a beautiful venue because it's all glass. It's white on the inside. It's white on the outside. I mean, your color palette goes through the roof in that room.
That's cool. Yeah.
So
it doesn't take much.
It does not take much.
Yeah.
So I buy movers in pairs. I can't.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I would rather buy movers and pairs than have one mover.
Yeah. Well,
so
that's what I do with my
yeah.
So starting out with the washes you're talking about, the fixed color changers.
Yeah.
You're saying that I would want to get 2 of them.
You want to get 2 of them.
And how much do those cost?
So the stealth spots are about $4.50 a piece.
Okay, so they're quite so I'm
very different than
$900.
what I did.
Yeah,
so I'm $900.
Yeah,
with that. And so then I can't set them on the table.
Yeah,
I've got to put them on.
You can also buy cheap
just stands.
Well, you can also buy stands like projector stands that have a flat.
Can I C-clamp them to the speaker stands that I already have?
I would,
and fix them to the ceiling or something.
Well, you can, but it won't be as safe.
Okay, unless I've got some really nice speaker stands.
Yeah, unless you got some really nice speaker stands.
Because these are huge.
Yeah. Well, so you can actually build like a platform for them to sit on. You want your lights to sit on a platform where they're not going to move.
I'm just trying to think like the least expensive, I guess the least amount of money I could spend
to
get started. Because right now I'm $900.
Well, you can get on Amazon and buy generic cheap Chinese
lights. That's what I was thinking,
Well, I didn't buy cheap Chinese lights. Hang on now. But
what
I did was, all right, so, again, our shows are vastly different. You've got these pyramids and, and they look all nice.
Yeah.
I built a T-stand, right, like a little tree.
Oh, yeah.
I put 2, just pars, right, American DJ. They came in a bag of 4.
Oh, yeah.
I paid like $100-something for them. And then they had these other, I don't want to say cheap because they're not cheap, but, cheaper than those for sure. It's like a moving head, gobo type, disco ball, all in the same thing.
I've seen your lighting setup.
I forget what they're called off the top of my head right now. But so I put, I got 4 of those, right? So I have 2 trees, right?
2 of these trees you built, and you got 2 on each.
Yeah.
You got 4 of them.
Yeah, correct. And then I had the 2 bar lights. So they're about, 2.5, 3 feet long bar lights.
Solid LEDs.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Solid LEDs. And those light up the back behind me. That way, when somebody walks in and, hey, we got a DJ, and, some places, they call for it. Other places, they don't, obviously.
Gotcha.
But, you can light up the back of a stage. So, all right, cool. Hey, there's a DJ. There's, what's going on.
Behind you is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the flats are
wall curtain
against
whichever.
that wall. Gotcha. Yep. And the 4 are facing the audience, like blinders.
Correct. Gotcha. And then I can, they're on a, normal stand, just has T-bar going across it.
Gotcha.
I can, jack them up as high as they need to go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And the way I had all my cables is I just
in and out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You're, I guess in your experience, how much were the LED bars that you felt like were adequate?
Bars probably like 100 and something, a piece.
Gotcha.
I think the moving heads were, roughly about the same.
And moving heads, are they washes or they?
They do a lot. They do washes and the gobos all. So they flip over.
I guess each one has all this built into single.
Yeah, you can.
So you're getting a lot of different stuff. You're getting fast song stuff.
Correct.
You also can do slow song stuff.
Correct.
Oh yeah. And so you can.
And then I have the different software too. I went with the my DJ Go. Again, that's my frame of reference. So
yeah. Well, you can do everything with those too. I've highlighted special dances with these spotlights, and photographers love them. So
that's cool.
Yeah,
and it's real simple.
Oh yeah,
2 trees.
Yeah,
if you're
I've got
you're up in 15, 20 minutes. Yeah.
Oh yeah. My entire setup.
You're spending more time running power to it than you.
Oh yeah. Well, my entire setup from walking into a room and setting up, and being ready to go. I'd say I can, depending on obstacles in the way from the truck to there, between 45 minutes and an hour. And that's I run 2 QSC 12s HPR. And those are birchwood, so those are kind of heavy. I have the 2 QSC 18-inch subs.
Yeah.
And those are on casters, so I can roll those in. Everything else, just kind of grab and go.
So back to my question about the simplest thing, the least expensive money that I can do as a DJ and charge more.
I would say something like that. But now they have trees that are already pre-built for you now.
Yeah, like Chavez has a lighting tree called the Gig Bar Move.
Yeah, and I've seen those.
Yeah, and
it closes up in a bag.
Yeah, 5-in-1 lighting system.
I know I'd rather do 2, but I probably could get away with 1 if I had to, right?
Right, you can get away with 1.
How much is the Gig Bar, like $300-400?
No, the Gig Bar Move iOS is the gig bar move ILS is about $1,300.
Okay, so $1,300.
50 to
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So $3,000, you got a good tree.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're saying $3,000.
But you can build a tree so cheap with Amazon brand lighting or
I think so.
depending on what speakers you went with. If you're making the transition from I'm going from bedroom studio DJ. You're going to have to decide whether you want to bite that bullet or not, and then you have to make a decision on what brand you want to go with. I prefer QSC. Some guys like Evie, some guys like JBL. It just kind of depends. But then you got to make that decision. Okay, it's not really a show without lighting. So how do I want to go that way?
Yeah. It all ties in together. So
so you've already made the jump, $3-4 grand for speakers and a mixer. The mixer, I'm not talking about a mixer yet. That's just speakers,
Yeah, speakers get real expensive.
So if we did do washes like you originally talked about, the LED washes, but we went with like an Amazon off-brand for like $80 a fixture. It is possible to do the show with 2 of those just to get. I mean, a guy just getting started.
Just for a guy getting started, you can do those. And they're light enough to put on a tree. So
what are the downsides of the off brands off of Amazon? Probably they might go down faster. Although I've had some expenses don't go down too.
They're actually reliable, but you're going to get less features. You're not going to get motorized zoom. You're not going to get motorized focus. You're not going to get.
You don't need all
this. Is a basic color par. Yeah,
it's basically
RBG, red, blue, green. We're not even talking about white.
You're basic.
Good luck with mine. I've got 16 of those and 9 bars in the Amazon. And what I kind of Amazon brand knockoff brand stuff. And I have found that if I'm buying 8 or 12 of those, I'll buy 1 extra.
Yeah.
And I'll usually keep up with any kind of failure. So really I might be saving a bunch of money on it, but I might lose 1 or 2 fixtures. So it's kind of a trade-off. So I found that if you're in a position where you're raising funds like a church or something, and you need to have all the money right now, and you've got to spend it right now, and you're not going to have any maintenance money, it might be better to buy
some come in packages though too.
You might want to buy the expensive ones. But for somebody like me, where if I have a fixture go down in 9 months, I can just go buy another fixture.
Right.
Well, a lot of churches can't do that.
They don't have budgets on what you're trying to do. Like me, I'm just a little club DJ. I need all the fancy stuff, which is great. Don't get me wrong. Not knocking it, but I mean, 9 times out of 10, for my point of view, people are going to be drinking. And 9 times out of 10, they just want to hear their favorite song or hear a good clean transition. They're not worried about, hey man, that light, this, that, and the other, X, Y, and Z,
So really evaluating what the money you're spending and what the effect's going to be.
It's all situations.
Like
what I use is different. What he uses, like you said, theater work, that's going to be a different animal on itself. So
Well, you talked about 4 different versions of these lights.
Yeah.
If I'm doing a 2-hour show, I might get away with the basic version because I don't need a lot of tricks.
Right.
But if I was in a venue that I was going to be using them for a long time, then I may want some of the intricate things.
So you would put it on extender, standard.
That's also the difference between like a cheap wedding. I can book a wedding for $800.
Yeah.
And it gets you, some basic lights, some basic speakers, but you start wanting to charge people, 15, 18, 2,000, even higher. Some of these guys are charging, for weddings, depending on what they want, depending on what lighting rigs, you're going to need that. And
it's what you're trying to do with it.
Yeah.
I've had rentals where I've rented something like this, and I rented the simple version because the show I was doing, I wasn't going to have time to even program something that was going to utilize some of the stuff that was deep into the feature set.
That's what I love about the bridge. I can create scenes. I can sit down and create 30 scenes in about 4 hours.
That's awesome.
So it's very, very easy to use.
Now, how do you create a scene though? Like a guy like me, I don't know how to do all this, that.
So these are your channels. You're gonna pick your channels. Like you're gonna pick your gobos. You're gonna use your channels to do all that, and then if you like what you're looking at, then you're gonna hit save, and then there's your scene list right there.
Wow.
And it's got like 20, 30 pages of scenes on here. So you can, like I said, I've sat down for 4 hours and just created like 25 pages of scenes.
So he did that. It took me 4 hours to set up the little basic stuff I had. You know what I mean?
Well, I like the warm up scenes. Like people walking into a ring. I like to have like a floor scene or.
Makes sense.
Or a ceiling scene.
You don't show all your tricks before the show starts.
Right.
That's what I joke. When I see all the lights moving, I'm like, man, you're giving away all your tricks before the show started.
Once I'm back in the booth, I'm controlling everything. So
yeah. So.
But yeah.
So you need our light to program your lights with the lights set up.
Right.
Where they're going to be used.
Yep.
Yeah. And is there any tricks to like say I'm going to be taking these out to a show and I haven't programmed them yet? Is there any tricks to programming those?
That's
before you set the lights up.
Besides, hoping
that's
for
why I get to venues. That's why I get to venues 3 hours early if I'm DMXing stuff. Yeah. So I can get on the bridge and just set scenes just like that. So
one thing I've found that helps with it is, especially with fixed lights. Now movers are a little bit more tricky.
Yeah.
I will get the 3 types of fixtures that I have. And put them in my living room with the controller, even though I've got fixtures, and I can basically get my, I guess what I call my combinations, stuff.
Oh yeah,
kind of have that because you know what they're going to be doing. Yeah, but I can at least get the DMX working, and I get a little head start on it.
So let me ask you guys this real quick. So as far as Huntsville is concerned, Huntsville is very different from like. Your LA, your Nashville, your Atlanta, Birmingham. Have you seen more of an uptick in music production? For that, or is it kind of going stagnant?
As audio goes,
audio, lighting, anything.
Yeah, because Huntsville's becoming a smaller Nashville, basically.
Yeah.
With all these bars and breweries that we're getting, it's becoming a small Nashville.
Yeah.
So there is more of a need for a production team.
Yeah,
for production teams
there's
down here.
There's a lot of guys out there, and I'm biased, COVID DJs and everything. They just popped up, before a couple years ago there was a handful of DJs, a handful of production. Now you look at it and there's they're everywhere now.
Metropolitan Disc Jockey Service, which is what Nate's a part of.
Yeah,
they're the biggest DJ service in Huntsville, but all the DJs in Huntsville support each other.
Oh yeah.
We all love each other. We're gonna send them gigs. They're gonna send us gigs. So I feel like we're a big family.
Yeah.
Here in Huntsville. So
even if your company is doing 4 at a time, you're not going to be able to do all the shows.
Right.
And so so being able to pass those around.
I've double booked and
everybody's going to book shows on the same days. So you'd love to book shows 365 days a year.
Oh yeah.
But there's actually days of the week, and then there's just dead weeks.
Yeah.
So you end up with how many days? Probably maybe 20.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, if you're like rolling hard, maybe like 20.
There's some cats out there that are doing, they're doing, a show a week, and now you're at 50
shows.
Yeah.
And so
it's hard to run a multi-op in Huntsville.
Yeah.
Because we're so compacted together. So you can have.
That's why you got Mullins. That's why you got Party Pros.
You got Mullins. You got Party Pros.
Metropolitan. Then you got all the little small guys that
Vegas Entertainment, which is Jamie Guffey's.
Oh wow, really? I didn't know
that. He's got some guys that work with him.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think Whirl's still doing some private stuff here and there.
Oh yeah.
I kind of took a back seat the past couple of years, and I'm just like, because there's so many new guys, and then they kind of undercut. It's a good thing because now you get more events done, but it's also a bad thing is now you run the risk of getting undercut.
Oh yeah,
so, okay, there's you book an event for, let's say $1,200, I book it for $1,000, then you come in, you book it, I'll do it for $8, and it's like, really?
Yeah. The competition is fierce.
Yeah, and I've seen guys even go lower than that, and it's like, there's a cat. I'm not naming names, but there's a cat that'll run around and do events for $200. And I get that there's a very niche for that. Hey, if you can't afford a DJ, they'll do it for $200 or whatever your budget is. Whatever, throw it to them. I get that. To a degree.
I think trying to differentiate.
Hey, swap that second black mic over to him, and y'all share that person.
This one right here.
Yeah.
There you go. You just hold it like.
Oh yeah.
Like you're an influencer.
Oh yeah.
So Is that you want us to share this one, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's, for some reason that third mic is just not doing what it's supposed to.
Yeah.
It's a mic, gremlins, man, gremlins.
Technical issues on that mic.
Yeah. Gremlins are a thing. I don't care what anyone says.
So back to your question, I would think that trying to differentiate your service, like in any business, no matter what you provide, I think is a huge key to trying to make your service different, so you're not just going on price, because nobody ever is going to win the price.
Oh yeah,
always somebody's going to come across.
The price wars will always be there.
You get down to a guy that's going to bring a single speaker, right, and ask you to give him a playlist. I mean, how cheap can you get?
How cheap can you get?
Yeah, and if the customer's fine with that, that's great. But if you can do something that, like,
I've lost gigs to wireless speakers. Come on now.
Oh yeah.
So Bluetooth.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've lost legit gigs to wireless speakers and the little screw-in light bulb, party lights.
Yeah, those will not work with me.
My background has been more so in the audio side, doing concert audio, and I pretty much will add like two trees of wash, real simply, just to kind of get them into the dark, of the show, and some things like that. And I very seldom bring movers out to the sound jobs, because I don't have time. You
don't have time to set on.
I'm going to have to charge twice what I charge for sound to bring a lighting director and a full up lighting set. So I'm usually some hybrid in between, and it's all about trying to figure out what price is going to.
Oh yeah, I mean,
love your lighting director.
Yeah,
I've had gigs that they want lights that I can't do. So I'll call Nate or
and it's great when they're asking for specific stuff, because that's differentiating what you do. The worst thing you can have is them not caring,
right?
Yeah, and then they're just like whatever. So
when you show up and you're either under or you
just trying.
I didn't want all this, man. Let's say you didn't care.
I'm designing the system in a way that I know I can get in and out in the budget that I've got and the time and the amount of energy I've got for that day. A lot of times I'm in and out.
Well, yeah, weddings, we're typically looking at 4, 6, 8 hours. Even like a concert show. You go to Furniture Factory and some of these other places. They're
well, they're
start.
They're
done at 10 o'clock. They're done by or maybe even earlier than that. Some cases they're done by 1 o'clock.
And so if you can simplify your system, whether it's lighting or sound, if you can simplify your system setup to where you have the exact same feature set, the exact same, it performs the same way that the customer's wanting for that particular concert or DJ thing, then all of a sudden you've got more margin to charge less.
Oh yeah,
and still make some money, because I have a lot of friends.
You would go with something like that where it can do a lot.
Yeah,
the light's expensive, but I can still, I can do a cheap or expensive show.
Or if the market's bringing that in a different configuration, and they're bringing 4 guys. I have a lot of friends in the sound world that they show up at a gig with 4 or 5 people. And so you're sitting there looking at the labor going, this is incredible. So if I can provide a similar product to the customer and I come by myself and I spend less time than I would with 5 people, it's all designing the setup and then you're like lighting looms like you've done and trying to figure out how can I do this and get in. My sound system by myself, like with Low Mill doing the concert series there. And so we'll do 5 pieces there, but I can load that system in 418s, 2 cabs, line arrays aside, and like 6 monitors. And mic stands and everything. I can get there at 4. The band show up at 4:30, do sound checks, and have a show at 6.
See that?
Wow.
And it can happen. And
can happen.
I'm moving.
Well, especially you've done it, so many times.
Versus in the setup, and I have gone to help friends. And the amount of labor I did for his show, with the 4 of us there, ridiculous. We were dragging subs underneath the stage, taking them out of cases.
That's a lot of kids. That's a lot of work.
And now I'm down there on my knees trying to plug XLRs up in these 4 cabinets, and then I got to go find power cables.
And that's the unsung heroes.
It's like a concert. Concert production.
You see some of these places, they just
his system.
So much.
Well, his system performed exactly like my system would have been by myself. I spent 90 minutes just hooking those subs up.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
I mean, they had 4 18-inch subs. They were single subs, so I was having to deal with that. I rolled my card in, lock it down and plug it up. My car has 4 keys on it. I'm done. And I didn't try to get them under the stage.
So
there's no reason for them to be under the stage.
Here's what I did. Here's what I did to get out of venues quicker and faster. Yeah. I hired a guy to help me set up my booth.
There you go.
So, $100 is real easy.
Yeah, $100 for that or $200 for that. It's going to be real easy for a guy to come and help you set up.
So in any business, whether it's sound and lighting or anything, I always joke with people, you need to get rid of the work before you hire people.
Yeah.
And everybody kind of laughs about it, but you're exactly right. It's like, I need to figure out how to make this as simple as I can.
Yeah.
Before I go hire people and not hire people and figure it out later.
My guy is really good at building my totems.
Yeah, there you go.
He knows how to build totems. He knows what height I like them at. So
you have the kind that raise.
Yeah, I have the kind that raise.
I've got 2 of the whites. No, blacks.
Okay, I've got the whites. I've got the whites.
I don't take them apart because it takes so long to build. Well, I'm like, I'll figure out how to get these in the trailer.
Yeah, well, this was my mistake on that. I bought a Nissan Rogue, and that thing does not have a huge roof on it.
Oh yeah, it's
so I have to collapse them.
So just something simple like I drop them down.
Yeah.
And then I leave the fabrics on, but I raise them all up to the top.
I do too.
So they're there. They might get a little dirty, but I'm not having to spend time going to find them, make sure I got them. And they're there.
Now, if I'm running totems just back and forth from church, I'll leave them built. I'll leave them built then. But
so I've got 2 of them, but I plan to have 4. But I haven't used the 2 as much as I thought. It sounds like you're using yours quite a bit.
I'm using mine quite a bit, especially for church. We got our Thanksgiving coming up before Thanksgiving, and we're going to use all 4 of my focus spots.
White scrims. So
the white scrims, and then
getting fancy with them.
Yeah, get fancy with them.
I could have gotten the ones with the TV mounts. I can't decide.
I
went back and forth.
I thought about getting TV mounts with that Rogue. I can't fit any more things in there. So
well, you can only play Jenga for so long.
You can only play Tetris or Jenga for so long. So
you gotta break out a trailer. But you see Huntsville, like you say, it's going into a small Nashville.
We're getting the Nashville vibe down here. So.
It's been good.
Is that mostly venue, or is that just just events? You got the VPC.
Live music.
And all
saying activity.
Activity.
Just like between the local stuff. And people coming in to play.
And the VBC just announced a 90s country tribute show. 90s country salute show. So you got artists like Mark Wills coming down,
and we're growing the people,
and we're with FBI coming in, with Space Command coming in, we're gonna have a lot more people down here. So
there's gonna be more of a need for
there's gonna be more of a need for the entertainment district.
I've been in Huntsville a long time through the 80s.
Oh wow!
So so we've watched it grow, but we've watched it grow a whole lot in the last 4 years.
Just my area alone,
traffic alone, seeing people, and then the type of work we do in Huntsville, and it pushed through some of the lower points of the economy because of the type of work we're doing, and then that brought in a lot of arts because these people are coming from Huntsville from all over the world, and all over the United States at least.
All these bringing engineers.
How do you think hockey got in Huntsville, Alabama?
Yeah.
We're in North Alabama.
I gotta ask Freak Daddy that one.
Yeah, you gotta ask Freak Daddy.
Why do we have so much hockey? Because people brought it here,
right? And
they've done a great job of supporting that.
If it wasn't for UAH kicking off the hockey sport here in Huntsville, then
and
they probably wouldn't have been here.
And you've got a double rink ice. Y'all been to Iceplex?
Oh yeah, the Iceplex is great.
They're doing the hockey and figure skating and all that stuff.
Oh yeah,
and full schools and all.
Huntsville's entertainment district is just booming right now. So
really eclectic.
Yeah, because you got the electric bell at Stove House.
Yeah,
Stove House is a great venue.
And then they all start competing with each other.
Yeah, they do.
We instead of having everybody at one place, now we've got 16 major venues.
Yeah.
And it split all the people up, and now they're having to fight a little bit to get. So they're just going to naturally do more.
Yeah.
There was a time where I think most of the music was at. They're on Jordan.
Oh
whatever the building is now. You were telling me what that building was. The club that's on Jordan.
Oh, you're talking about the outdoor.
Indoor, outdoor. See, that building's been
Shag
a lot
Nasty's.
of things.
Yeah, Shag Nasty's.
Yeah, I've not been in the clubs, club scene in these years, but that that there was trying to think of what it was called back in the day, but major music venue there. And at a time where there was like 3 places.
Oh yeah,
they were doing major music, and so
music
great places, but they didn't have to fight for the crowd.
Well, look at how many bars have just popped up. It used to be back in the day. You had the Horse. You had Sammy T's has always been a staple.
Yeah.
Well then, then you got Furniture Factory.
Yeah.
Now you got
now you got the Orion.
Oh yeah. And now you got way more places to play.
Oh yeah. I went to the Alabama concert.
Now.
Oh yeah, I went to the Alabama concert at the Orion, and I'm telling you, that Orion, the way they got it set up, it's nice.
That's cool.
Because you can see everything on stage. There's no poles.
Yeah, it looks nice. I have not been I've not been to a concert in that room.
Just don't buy drinks there.
I have run. I have run sound outside in the pavilion. It's great space, and I've worked with some concerts up, but just hadn't.
I had great seats for the Alabama concert.
It looks like a great place.
So
they've done well with
it. It was a great, fantastic venue.
That's cool.
So, yeah. So let's get back to lighting for a second. So not only are there spotlights, but there's hybrids. The hybrids are the beams, the spots, and the washes. They're all 3-in-1 fixtures. They can do everything you want them to do. And they're cool.
Is that what that is? Or
no, those are just spots. Okay. They're not the hybrids.
Okay.
You'll see a lot of the hybrids, like at Bluewood Productions probably has hybrids. I think LED Orange probably has hybrids, but you can do a lot with them. Their beam angle is so good. You can get that beam almost to 0.
So you'd almost rather go with a hybrid then, because it sounds like it's like a all-in-one.
It's an all-in-one fixture.
And what price range are we?
The hybrids are going to be a little bit more expensive. You're looking at $3,000 to $4,000 a fixture.
A light?
Yeah. So for the hybrids.
I'm going to decide if I had 2 of those for $7,000, is that going to look better than how many 30 of them?
You guys start thinking about
it's a hard
broke DJ and
what I'm trying to get
traveling bands.
I've got a back bar, and I can afford $7,000. I'm going to put 2 lights that are really, really cool.
Yeah.
Or am I going to put semi-cool lights all the way across the back bar?
Exactly.
I'd go with the semi-lights.
Yeah.
I might make one show. Look cool. Maybe not every day, right?
Right, not every day, but those hybrids are super nice. They're feature packed.
Do you see a lot of those around Huntsville?
I do see a lot of those around Huntsville.
You got Sammy T's. You
a lot of your clubs and a lot of your
using it. Like, and have you seen that out in like the normal
the wild?
It's more of a
kind of.
Yeah, it's more of a professional concert fixture.
Okay.
So
with a price range.
With the price range, it's going to be a concert production.
Because a $3,000 fixture, I mean, a rental at like 5%.
Yeah.
You're looking at
close to $800 for the $125 for renting that thing
per day for one fixture.
Yeah.
You do 12 of them.
So that's 98 Honda Civic
for the
back in the day.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But it's a good tool for what it's designed to use.
What your credit, you can get that. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. But it's got, like, whenever you're going to go buy a fixture and if it says hybrid on it, that's what that means.
Yeah. Okay. Well, a church that I was with, went to the board and asked for money for a lighting project. So they kind of stepped out there. So they're going to spend, $2 or $3 a fixture.
They're going to have a budget for lighting.
And they're going to get 14 movers.
Yeah.
So you're talking like a $30,000.
Well, they're going to do a whole addition.
Yeah. Next year or the year after that, they're not going to be going and asking for money for those lights.
True.
No.
So they're going to spend it all right there. And
they're going to spend it. They're going to spend it all at once.
Yeah. And so they're in a situation where they've got these 14, and if one goes down, in this next 24 months, it's just really going to kind of be a challenge.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You and I would just go replace the fixture.
Yeah.
So hopefully the more expensive ones won't break down. But that's
right, because they're going to be a lot more reliable.
And that's where it comes down. Some guy comes, hey, I want to put on a show somewhere. And that's where it comes with the price point. Like, well, it depends on what you want, man.
Right. Yeah. It all depends on preference.
There's a lot of solo artists out there now. Some of them are guitar pickers, this, that, and the other. Some are they're hip hop entertainers. Some of your country pickers.
If you're into a full blown hip hop, I would definitely go with the light second strobe. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Give somebody epilepsy for no
reason. Yeah, give someone epilepsy.
God. Now, like,
Yeah.
so like some lasers, you know, you have to.
Oh gosh, don't even talk to me about lasers. I hate lasers.
Well, no, like some lasers. Do what now?
They kill phones.
Yeah,
they do that, but you know, like you have to have like a legit certificate.
You have to have a license. You got to have a key. Most of them will have a key. You got to turn them on with.
Are those going to do kind of the same thing, or not so much?
No, those aren't even lasers.
Okay.
So, but lasers kill cameras, and I see a lot of the DJ setups where they have the lasers pointing on the ground.
Yeah.
And
I can't do that.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
Because lasers, they're supposed to be above your
line of sight.
Like if I put it up on my tree and I point it down, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't need to be in somebody's eye.
It doesn't
need to have a chance to get a kid's
blind somebody.
Yeah, so you're talking about like legit hold it like above.
Yeah, hold it above
apex of the roof.
Yeah,
and it's the apex. Our real cheap ones do, but
yeah.
So I think over the, like you said, back bar over the head.
Yeah,
where you're still over the head at the back of the roof.
Gotcha.
Like then you do your fogging on. You got some really cool stuff.
Lasers are cool with haze, but and you see them a lot of them at EDM festivals. And
my
preference, I don't do lasers.
Yeah.
So is preference or like why is they a pain to put together and
they're not a pain to put together. Personal preference for me is I just don't like them.
Okay.
So
yeah, and it's a tool, and you got to decide if it's adding value to your show.
Yeah.
And it's kind of in a different direction.
Like I said, if you're doing, you know, the low haze or the high haze, foggers, you know, and all that, CO2 blasters, blah, blah.
And I've seen people do projection with them and do some amazing
things.
Oh,
there's some,
We had a gig where they hired it, came out, they did a specific song, and the whole show is designed for that company's thing.
But don't they do that literally in 3208? Don't they do like a laser show?
Now, why it could have been projection, I don't know, because they're projecting on a screen. So whether it was laser, you got lasers
that can do different design. Like if you go to the laser show at Stone Mountain, Georgia, that's cool.
Yeah, and that's what they were doing.
Yeah, they still follow the same like DMX link.
Yeah, they still follow the same DMX.
It's like pixel mapping.
Yeah. Well, and they do projection mapping too, and that's really cool. I love projection mapping. They take projectors and they map them like all over your house to with Halloween coming up. They're gonna have like a lot of Halloween scenes on their houses, and
oh wow,
it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
is that so? People like do their houses where you see on YouTube where it's synced to the song.
Yeah, it's the Halloween light show.
How are they doing those lights?
Yeah,
they're the same kind of lights.
They're the same kind of lights.
Okay,
and I know a guy on YouTube who's using fire in his Halloween shows. Yeah, no. like straight up fire.
My wife was saying
Burning Man for no reason.
Yeah. My wife said on Facebook, they kept calling the fire department. Their house was so good.
Yeah, there's a house. I think it's up. I forgot where it was, but I think it's up in Indiana.
They've got the flaming in the windows.
It looks like their house is literally on fire.
So whether I want to use it for studio production, whether I want to use it for concert production, theater production, or just a low level DJ, or even some guy that just put Halloween lights on their house.
Yeah,
the DMX is still
still valid.
Okay,
so.
Would it follow the same rules?
It would follow the same rules.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got to think you've got so many channels.
Yeah.
And you've got basically on and off a variable.
Yeah.
And the fixture decides what it's going to do with it.
Yeah. That's where you get into the universes, and you said.
Yeah, that's when
the controller doesn't know what that fixture is going to do.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it just sends a command on one channel, or if it's 18 channels, it's sending values on 18 channels, and that fixture decides what it's going to do with it.
No, on this, I have everything labeled. All the channels are labeled.
That's oversimplified because a lot of if it knows what the fixture is, it can guess.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't technically know.
Well, you said intelligence. So, like, when does the intelligence kick in?
That's the DMX. That's the intelligent part.
That's the only intelligent part.
That's the intelligent part.
In fact, I guess we can program. I haven't thought about the
programming and DMX programming and DMX. That's the intelligent part.
Okay.
So,
although I mean, with AI, it's not as intelligent as it used
to be. Right, as it used to be.
We're gonna have fixtures that are AI, I guess.
Yeah,
not just
in the near future.
Yeah, I guess you could go into AI and ask them how to do it, and they'd tell you step by step and tell you the different things.
And there's battery powered movers now. Yeah. So
are there? I've seen the battery powered lights, and those are what for 6 of them. I think it's what $2,000 to $3,000.
Yeah, they're expensive, but
a battery powered,
and they have wireless DMX.
It's more expensive.
Yeah.
Sometimes you take a hit on the light power, but if it can get you in and out of a venue fast, or columns in the roundhouse that you don't want to run power to,
right?
Lighting all those columns, right?
Yeah, lighting all those columns
it becomes something that might be practical, but that's a trade off.
Yeah.
But then, then you're looking at, like I said, another $2-3 grand for a pack of 6.
Right.
I mean, but that's that goes back to the combo, prices that you're looking at.
It's all what you're using them for, and if it's a tool you can use,
it's all about
every single.
So first, you got to figure out what you want to do with it.
Whether it be you got to figure out what you want to do with them.
Whatever.
What can I add that I can charge more money for?
Yeah.
I looking through, especially in the audio world all these years, looking through the magazine of all the new gear, and we get so excited about it, but will that gear raise my hourly rate or get me more work?
Yeah.
Or possibly make my product a little bit better. That's a little iffy.
That's a little iffy.
But it's the same.
Well, that's like me. I got the HPR.
Yeah.
Those things are so heavy. I'm only getting older.
QSC.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I have the old
original
HPR
stuff.
Yeah. Now they got the K12s 2.0.
Yeah.
They stopped doing the wood boxes.
Oh yeah. I'm old school, but the sound and the resonation that you get from the wood box. I mean, you can't beat
the wood box stays still, where the plastic almost like Jello when you start running.
When they're lighter, though,
Oh, yeah. But like you said, it's a more solid sound with the wood box.
Yeah.
The JBL PRXs have gone from wood.
Yeah.
And I think they're trying to hit that $1,000 mark.
I mean, some of your subs are still going from,
subs are hard to do plastic.
But some do. JBL's got plastic extended
some do plastic on their subs. I have a pair of the QSC. Yeah, I have a pair of the QSC K12.2s, and I use them
wood boxes, right?
I think.
Yeah.
And
their 18s are.
Yeah. And I use them a lot for outdoor events because they have a lot more headroom.
Yeah.
And I can get them as loud and not
the 12 dual.
They're the 12 duals. Yeah.
Okay.
What I like about those is how musical they are. They really have a nice round sound. If you got to roll across the floor, you're going to have the 18.
Yeah.
That's me. I got the 18.
Yeah. It just depends on what you're shooting.
Those things are so punchy.
But a bass guitar, especially like an upright bass or something, is just going to sound so much better.
Oh, it sure is. And you don't really need subs with those speakers because they have a lot of low end.
Gotcha. Now you're the K12.
.2s, yeah.
.2s, gotcha.
Yeah.
And
they have a lot of low end frequency.
I'm trying to think of I was thinking about the sub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you were telling someone that, like I'm a QSC fan,
I am too.
Like, what would you all say? Like, hey, if you're going to bridge the gap from going from, amateur to, semi-professional, professional, whatever you want to call us, at this point, especially a mobile DJ and semi-professional.
Yeah.
Where would you go? Where would you start at, as far as going from lights? Or not, from lights and from, from speakers,
I mean, price, I think, is going to be a good starting point because depending on what somebody's trying to do, I think that they could.
Harbinger stepped their game up now.
Yes, they have.
Who is that now?
Harbinger stepped their game up. Harbinger, Behringer, they've stepped their game up. They used to be the jokes of, everything. Now and like, all right.
I would be very well of what the SPL is. And that is basically how loud the speaker is going to get.
Yeah, I don't get the.
Are you looking at wattage, or are you looking at just straight volume?
I would think of SPL as like if you're standing there and I have the speaker on,
correct,
and I'm going to try to measure how loud it gets. Through a certain range of frequencies, and they can do that test a couple different ways. So they can fudge that if they want to, but your QSC is the 12 is going to be, I think, about 132 or somewhere in that range.
I look at the SPLs, but I don't know what SPLs means.
Sound pressure
level.
What they do, they literally put a reference mic at, I think, 1 meter.
Okay.
I think is where we get that 1 meter from.
Yeah.
And I play probably some kind of reference tone if it's pink noise or something. And then when I turn the speaker on, how loud will it get?
Before clipping. Yeah. Before clipping happens.
And possibly evenly for so many frequencies.
Yeah.
It's going to act different if I put 1K tone through it. I'm hoping I probably get more out of that than I would get out of the whole entire speaker.
Yeah.
But that's where that's going to be. Your QSC is going to be about 130, 33 or 134. As you get to the 15 and the 3-way, you gain a dB.
Yeah.
The classic wood PRX not the newest ones, but the wood box is what I have a bunch of, and they're 135.
Okay.
Versus 132. Some of the
they're a little bit louder.
Some of the Harmond stuff gets down to 128.
Talk about the Harmond and
Harmond. I said that right.
Yeah.
The one you were talking about, the brand you just talked about.
Oh yeah.
A lot of those, and you can almost see it.
Harbinger,
you can almost see it in the price range. But the Behringer, even the RCF stuff.
Really?
Yeah, you're paying for that brand, but you look at that SPL.
Would you go more powered or would you go more passive? I mean, like passive stuff is gone, but some guys still have racks and everything.
My first indicator is the SPL because I want to know how much headroom I can get out of that speaker before it starts choking up on me.
Yeah.
The Behringer, the 1000 Bs or whatever that series, they're like that 127.
So they're a little bit lower on the scale.
Yeah, and so I'm going to get less pressure out of it before I start getting the plastic box. The sound that I'm going to get out of
So you don't take wattage into effect.
I wouldn't. Because that speaker can have a lot of different efficiency levels. Where we used to have PV cabinets way back in the day.
Man.
No, Joe, we put 200 watts to it, and it was like a folded 15 with a 36-inch horn.
Yeah,
that's fire, man.
That was fire.
That
was fire back in the day.
Yeah, and I'd have to bring scaffolding to get them up because they'd have speaker ports on them. So I bring the scaffolding out there, but man, you got a whole block. You had everything. Super low end. It's just super efficient, and so there's an efficiency level. Like my line arrays are. Let's see, DOS.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of DOS.
DAS.
DOS.
Yeah, and so they're each box it's a fixed line array, so they don't adjust. They're fixed, like similar to a JBL. I think LAP was one of my favorite cabinets. That cabinet's real similar to one I have, and it's about 135. So it's technically about the amount of power as the PRX. But when I put I've got two on my system. So when I put two of them together, I get directed horns without crossing. Plus, I get a little bit of coupling with the. And I can get some pretty good headroom outside with that.
Speaking of different position horns, I have Harbinger line array or column array, and the horns are in different positions.
Gotcha.
You have one horn that's going this way. You got one horn that's going that way.
So it's worked itself out.
Yeah. But QSC just came out with a column array that is really good.
Cool. They've been really popular.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like 50% of it's hype, and again, it's all about the use of them.
Well, yeah.
You take a room like the auditorium at First Baptist. Have you been in the traditional room?
Yeah.
The 2-story. That room has been done with column speakers most of the time. That's been open. Yeah. They may have put something new in lately.
They could have, yeah.
Okay, but the room's weird, and so they literally had 2 column speakers next to the choir and the organ that only went up to about head height of the choir in the choir loft.
Wow!
And the way that had directivity, they were actually able to program it to get to the balcony.
Wow.
And get to the floor, and it really sounded smooth in that room.
Oh,
we didn't need a lot of strong mid-range. We just didn't need a lot out of it. It wasn't a concert sound.
Well, they probably went in there and did like a major acoustical study in that room.
Yeah, or tried to figure out how to make it work.
Because
the acoustics was built by somebody that wanted to look cool. And
so you're not really a brand guy. You just go by what the specs they were with.
That's what you're saying. SPL, of course, the brand is going to probably give you the characteristic of the sound in general. Like a JBL is probably going to have sound a certain way.
Yeah,
like USD is. And you're going to kind of have your favorites when you start getting the DB and some of the high end brands. They're getting the SPL, but they're probably also getting some coloration and things that just sound really, really pleasing. Just sound really, really cool. But my room has got to really, really be really, really controlled for me to hear that kind of accurate sound.
Where it's very
this is nice and tight, but a room like you were saying Church of Christ, you've got a lot of ambience in the room.
Oh yeah, you sure do.
Because you want the people to sing in there and be able to fill the room.
You want to be able to fill the room with their voice.
You want you want the congregation to raise the roof off the room. And there's so much reverb in that room that if you put a traditional PA in there, you might not hear the clarity of the PA because there's so much built-in reverb,
right?
You know, stairwell
in
the room, and so so I would probably make sure you've listened to the speakers, and hopefully I'm going to hear a difference in a $200, $300 speaker.
Oh yeah.
Plus we've got the 128 dB versus the 135. You know, kind of benchmark with that. I'm gonna listen to. I didn't listen to mine before I bought them.
Yeah.
The huge line array that I bought, I kind of knew the specs on it. I knew kind of where they were headed with it, and I took a gamble on it, and I ended up liking it. Yeah,
that's great.
I've been a QSC fan, you know, just from a customer standpoint, you know, customer service standpoint, the way they sound. I mean, the way you know QSC's what a recognizable name. JBL's coming up. You know, EV's always been around.
Yeah,
EV's been around for a long time.
Like I said, Harbinger and all those guys, they're coming up. You know.
Yeah, if you can spend the money, like you were talking about, the wood boxes really sound different. I think right now Yamaha has got some really interesting stuff in a wood box.
Yeah,
but their 12 and 15 is $1,500.
Like Yamaha, like you know, you would see for like a guitar. They're getting into pro sound now too.
They've been in pro audio for a long time.
They have.
They just don't have the
They
don't have the reach. It's interesting how they just haven't had the reach of a QSC, and I think it takes QSC or Behringer. They really go into the market, infiltrate, and really do a lot of marketing to get.
I mean, JBL's coming up now too. Like JBL came out.
JBL's been around for a long time. Yamaha's kind of.
They're also but I mean, like as far as you know what they've been doing here lately. I mean, they're putting out you know a wireless speaker on wheels and doing this and doing that. Their home audio is crazy. I mean, like JBL's been
my Yamaha baby subs.
Yeah,
got the big ones at the DOS Dual 18s, but for the smaller little 12-inch like bandpass sub boxes, which are nice for real small gigs, they're Yamahas, and they have guards over the rocker switches on the bottom, which I have broken off of the QSC.
Oh no!
Oh yeah.
Have you broken those?
You
see how you can?
Yeah.
You see how you can snag them?
They're
you
easily
can snag them on your bumper.
Yeah.
And so I noticed when I was looking at theirs was they had the way the indentions were built around it. There was no way to knock the switch off.
That's good.
There were several things about the design of that you just look at it and go, they've thought through this.
Yeah.
And then there is a when I put the case over the sub and I strap the bottom, it has a full Velcro strap piece that goes across the display on the unit. So again, I'm not dragging it over a curb.
Right.
And it's just sometimes the little things like that you just really appreciate.
Yeah.
And then that and I think several brands are doing it, but I can open the flaps on that case on that sub and never take the case off, and I love that.
That's great.
You know, I rock it over. The wheels are on the back.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not sitting on the wheels. Then I fold a piece that's Velcroed up, and I open the Velcro on the back, and I'm on.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not having to put the case somewhere, and I'm trying to put it back on. You know, and so sometimes those things are interesting. We're out of time, aren't we?
Yeah, I've been like 30 minutes over.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, we will be out and about throughout Huntsville if any of y'all DJs watching this, if y'all want to reach out to us.
Yeah.
We have social medias. So,
Landon Grace at Facebook, and you are?
I'm Nathan Reithmaier, but I go by DJ Nate-Dawg.
There you go.
So
Facebook might be the easiest place to find me.
Yeah.
And it's Landon Grace, and they can find you.
Yeah, man. My name's just Caleb Harmond, man. It's Caleb. It makes it more. I went different on the DJ name. You know, it makes it more personal. Hey, my name's Caleb. Your name's so and so. Versus no offense.
No, it's not taken. But I just like the coolness of it.
Oh yeah.
So,
well, this has been fun.
Yeah. It's been a great night.
Thanks for having me.
So
we're out of here.
Yep.